What's going on, J Squad? It's your boy, the J Man. Before I get this video, I want you to click that like button, leave your thoughts in the comment section box below, and of course, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Also, click that notification bell to get notifications of when I upload my videos so you don't miss a thing. So, I want to take you back to the time when the world was completely dark. And the world was without form. But God created the world within 7 days. And on the seventh day, God rested. But God made a man in his image, and he named him Adam. And he gave all the birds, he separated the waters from the sea to the sky, from days to light to day, dark to night. But he even created a woman from man's rib. And so, skip to a couple, through the chapters of of Genesis, and we're now into Exodus. But we went through from Adam and Eve descending to Noah, and the flood and the ark. Now we're into the story of Exodus to a man by the name of Moses. Now, what do you think Moses? Of course, God told Moses to go set his people from the Pharaoh, and so he said, "But I cannot. I'm just a man." But God said, "I will be with you, and I will be your side, and I will give you the words to say." And so Moses did just exactly what God said. And he went to Egypt, and he told the Pharaoh to let his people go. He denied it. And so Moses, God, made the 10th the 9 plagues. The water turning into river, and the water turning to blood. All that stuff. But finally, the Pharaoh said, "Take your people and go." But before this, God told Moses to take sheep's blood and put it all around their doorframe, because the angel of death was going to come by and kill every single firstborn child. So they did exactly what God said, what Moses told God, what God told Moses. And so, the Pharaoh's son, died the next day, or during his sleep. So the Pharaoh told his people, take your people, told Moses, take his people and leave. So they did, and they ended up, in the desert. And this is what the people of Egypt, they said, says, in the desert, the whole community grumbled against Moses and Aaron. The Israelites said to them, "If only we had died by the Lord's hand in Egypt. There we sat around pots of meat and ate all the food we wanted. But you have all brought us out into the desert to starve this entire assembly to death." Then listen to what God says. Then the Lord said to Moses, "I will rain down bread from heaven for you. The people are to go out each day and gather enough for that day. In this way, I will test them and see whether they will follow my instructions. On the 6th day, they are to prepare what they bring in. That is to be twice as much as they gather on the other days." So Moses did exactly what God said. But did Moses and the Israelites have fast food? Did they have Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, Sonic, KFC, Church's Chicken? Did they have ribs and stuff? No. But what God provided for Moses and the Israelites was not fast food. It was a bread. And this bread was made without yeast and without, eating, thing whatsoever. But that bread had a name. It was called manna. MAAN. It's called manna bread. And I have here And this is what Jesus ate during his time on earth. Basically, it's a flatbread. It has 0 trans fat, 0 cholesterol, and 0 grams of protein. Now, there wasn't a whole lot to eat back in the day. When God gave Moses, the bread to his people. But not only was this once, but this was twice. One for Moses to take the Israelites out of Egypt, and the second was when Jesus broke the bread called the supper. I'm going to show y'all what it looks like real quick. This is what it's called. It's called the flatbread, but we're going to call it manna for short. I have here what it actually looks like. It has no preservatives, no yeast, no byproducts. It has nothing. This is all grain. This is everything that Jesus ate during his time on earth. And no, it's not a tortilla either. It's just a flat bread. That's all it is. So this is what Jesus would do. He would break off a piece of the bread. I'm gonna break it off. And during his last supper, he gave bread to each of his 12 disciples before his crucifixion. And what he did was he had, bread, non-bread, and he also had some wine. But these two resemble something. He said that the bread represents his body. Whoever is in Christ shall not die. Or whoever has Christ shall never perish. But he also had the wine, said, "This is my blood. Whoever drinks my blood will never thirst again." So this is non-bread. So let's go ahead and get into it. Pretty good. It doesn't have any flavor, but it's soft. It's really good, y'all. With this compared to, store-bought bread like Mrs. Bread, other kinds of bread, I would actually prefer, non-bread. Because store-bought bread like Mrs. Bread, whatsoever, has like, a lot of, chemicals, probably a lot of, just things that, keep the bread, whole together. But non-bread is pretty good. You can probably dip this in some, maybe some olive oil, or I think maybe some like olive oil with maybe some black pepper. Just whatever you desire. I mean, there's like garlic, there's all kinds of non-bread. But all in all, with, non-bread, I can understand why, Jesus would eat this and Moses. And it's, it has the consistency of, of a tortilla, Yeah, but it's not a tortilla. It's just flat grain bread. That's all it is. So I'm gonna start eating more of non-bread because, during the manufacturing stuff. So non-bread, so it's the way to go, y'all. Between 1 to 10, you know what I'm gonna give this. This gets about a 10 because you can dip this in olive oil with a little bit of black pepper, just to kind of get just a little bit of flavor. But all in all, pretty good. You can probably put some other stuff on there. You be creative. You come up with your own ways to use non-bread. Alright? Alright, until then, this is your boy, J-Man. I'll see y'all with another video. Alright? Later.